Hi guys, welcome back to the Yorkshire Modeller. We now finally have issue 45 of the Hachette Partworks Battleship Bismarck. So for those of you that have been watching this build as it's been going, you'll know I've had a few issues with getting hold of, getting hold of issue 45. The main problem is that my newsagent, where I get this from, was closed on Christmas Day, which is when this one should have been released. There hasn't been any update really for quite a while, and then at the end of March, I actually got the magazine itself with the parts. Now, obviously, with the global crisis and everything that's going on at the minute, I've been a bit to-ing and fro-ing. I've had a few things to do. Obviously, I did that channel update video last week, the week before, something like that, and then got one issue of the Spitfire up. I have back here got a few issues of the F40 that I need to build, and I've also just got issue 58 of the Bismarck and issue 6, I think it is, of the Spitfire. Those have come today, so I'm going to try and get these videos up as quick as I can, just so, you know, we can get moving, because things are going to start coming in thick and fast, hopefully quite soon now that things are getting resolved with the pandemic. You'll notice the background's changed. This is the new wallpaper that I was on about. For those of you that are watching this playlist after it's actually gone out, this is what the new room looks like. It will kind of flip back and forth for the next couple of videos. Continuity is not my strong suit. But yeah, that's that. I've got a bit more equipment coming as well. I've got a new computer coming. So all of that will be up in a future video. But that's why obviously I've got a little bit better lighting, because I've got a proper light box. I've got 2 light boxes. So just makes things a bit better when it comes to you being able to see what I'm actually doing. So we'll get all the parts and everything we need for issue 45 put together and on the table, and we will get started with all the parts for issue 45. With issue 45, we're starting the assembly of the forward superstructure. So we've got all 3 parts that we've done in previous videos. Now, bear in mind, as we've said, this one here that's got the Admirals Bridge on it, this part you will have 2 cables coming out of. I've only got the one because of what happened with my forward searchlight. I have tried to get the issue in question, which is issue 40, but I was going to get it off the website. It's sold out. I've tried on the Facebook page, can't find anybody that's got it, so I'm just going to build this, and obviously my forward light won't work, as I've said in previous videos. So let's get the parts out here. I'll move all these parts off to the side until we actually need each one of them. So let's get these parts opened and start getting things built up. So that's everything. That is everything. Move all these photo etch parts off to the side there, because we're not going to need those just yet. Same with those sprue parts there. Lovely. Right then, so first we are going to need the Admiral's deck, so this one just here. There we are. So I've already got my super glue sorted, as you saw. So what we need first then is take the Admirals Bridge assembly from issue 43, that's this one, cut one of the 2 rangefinders from the frame 45.1. So 45.1 is kind of this rectangular one. So, side cutters, and cut one of the rangefinders number 1. So I'm thinking that's that part there. Yes, there's 2 number 1s. One is right on the far end, so I'm cutting off this one just here on this end, just there. Whoops, nearly. And then file down the cut points. There, and then according to this, we identify the fixing point on the round platform of the port side of the Admiral's Bridge deck, place it in orientation and fit in place. So the orientation, same as previous rangefinders, is with these 2 like little nubs facing straight forward. So they'll face, so if that's your part there, we're gluing it on this side, so they'll point this way. Okay? So, drop a super glue on that peg, just in there, and then grab my tweezers, and then, whoops, pop that in there. These aren't going to do it that way, so I'm going to have to do it this way instead. That's better. There we go, so that's in there. Let that glue set up a little bit. There we go. So that's the first rangefinder in place. I like this new lighting, it's good, isn't it? You guys can actually see what I'm doing. Cut one of the signal lamps, part 2. So they're the ones next to it? No. So these are the signal lamps. Ah, yeah. These are the signal lamps on the other far side. So I'll just cut that part off. It's this one just here that's next. So same thing. Just holding on to the part so when you cut it off it doesn't spring off into the distance. And we're just going to get this part all filed up. There we go. I'm just setting up something on the camera. Sorry about that. Right, sorry about that. So, that's the part just there then. Oh, when it's done all rolling around on my hand. So this, let's move the instructions in a little bit so we can see what I'm doing. So this goes into that little hole just there. There's a little pin just on the back that will help it sit in place. So put a dab of glue on there. And then try and get this in a comfortable position. There we are. So straight in there like that. There we go. Make sure that's settled, seated in properly. There we are. So that's that part in just there as well. Next, cut the second rangefinder. Identify the fixing point, check the orientation and fit in place as shown. So it's an exact repeat of the this side, but on the other side. So I'll do that and I'll be straight back with you. Right, so that's the side that we did in the video a minute ago. That's the other side that I've just done. So you've got the rangefinder and the signal lamp there as well. So that is everything done with this part, with all the parts that we get for this issue. So that's that one done. Next is the upper mast deck assembly, which is this nice square piece just here. And with this one, we take the loudspeakers. So that's the two tiny little sort of, well, cotton reel shaped things just on that sprue. Whoops, sorry, out of focus. Out on this one. And just looks like we glue those onto the side. So take the upper mast deck assembly from the previous issue and cut the loudspeakers 3 from 45.1. Identify the fixing point on the starboard side of the upper mast deck, 44.1, and check the fit in place with a little bit of super glue. So let's have a look. So we've got that side. So I'm guessing it is that hole just there. Yeah, it is. So looking at your part here, it's just that big square hole just there that these need to go into. So same again, there is a little pin on these ones, so make sure you don't cut the pin off. I have done that once already on this build, on one of the parts of the actual superstructure itself. I accidentally cut the pin off. It's an easy enough problem to resolve. You just have to sort of take your time when you're gluing things back on. Make sure you get as much glue as you can without it spilling over onto the sides. Now also with this part, there's like a little triangular bit sort of underneath it. So you can kind of see it quite well there. You've got the speaker there, but then underneath it is like an angled bit. That part points towards the bottom. So that's that bit done. Next, we've got the same thing on the other side, and it is in exactly the same position on here. So that's that sprue all done with. So same again, a little bit of glue inside there. Take your speaker, pop it in place like that. So that's starboard, and that's port. So that's that part done. Now that's everything done for the first set of the instructions. The second part of the instructions is the railing platforms and ladders. So this is where you need some of these photo etch parts, and also some of the photo etch parts that are on the sprue. So what I'll do, I'm going to cut off the parts that are on the sprue, because this does take a while, and then I'll come straight back to you once I've got these all cut off, and we will carry on from there. Right, so what I've actually done, the photo etch sprue, this one, I've cut all the parts off and I've got them laid out just in front of me just here. So I can see which is each part and which part I'll need to get for the next few bits of this, this build. So what we need to do is take the starboard railing 45.5 bend the railing along the indent as shown. So that's one of these two parts just here. Now, I'm not sure exactly which one it is, but if you give me a second, I will be able to... It's that one. Oh yeah. So, that there is the railing that we're looking for. There's a little indent in it. Now, how I bend these, because I've not got a proper photo etch bender yet, I might end up getting one depending on how many models I do that have photo etch. Use a pair of tweezers like that, line that up, and then just bend it in. Like that. And that will start the bend off, start the bend off quite nicely, like that. And then all you need to do, very, very, very gently, just push it into position, like that. So that's a nice right angle there. And then it says repeat with the port railing. So, do exactly the same thing again. Line the edge of your tweezers up with the photo etch. Indent, bend that in, and then just finish that bend off by hand. Oopsie. Just like that. There we go. So, that's those two parts bent in. Oh, we're not done. We're not done with this bit yet. It says that we were and we're not. Test fit the starboard railing at the back. So that's behind these rangefinders that we've just installed. So check the fit of the starboard railing on the Admirals Bridge and glue in place. So that would be that one. Now this is the two quite large round holes. So in the bottom there of the Admirals Bridge deck, you've got the little hole just there and a little hole just there. They're the two that this photo etch part goes into. So, a little dab of glue, a little dab of glue, and then just plop that into place. Like that. There we are. So that's all glued in on that one. And then we do the same on the other side. Now you've got your choice on how you glue it. Sometimes I'll put the glue into the little, into the hole that the part's going into. Other times I'll do this and I'll put it onto the actual part itself. Just depends on which you prefer. You can be a little bit more precise doing it this way, but sometimes the glue won't actually get onto the part that you're gluing this part to. So like you'll have the glue on the railing, but it won't touch the plastic part underneath. That's just taking the rough with the smooth. That's just how it works. But that seems to have gone on quite well there. So next, we return to the starboard side of the Admirals Bridge, and we are going to install... identify the fixing point for the railing beyond the arm of the rangefinder. Test to fit and glue in place. So that's these little kind of more rounded pieces there. These are the pieces that will go... I'll just reset that a second. There we go. So these pieces will go kind of onto these bits just here, next to the rangefinders, just there. So let's have a look. Identify the fixing point for the railing. And yep, I've got the fixing point. And test the fit and glue in place. Do the same thing with the other one. So... Right, so that one just looks like it pushes in more than anything else. So on this one, it's right in this corner here that you'll need to put the glue. So if I get my stick, just put a tiny dab of glue in there, and then, oopsie, tiny dab of glue in there, a little bit more on that side, and then we'll just push that in to position there like that. And that's that one in, just there. And then it's exactly the same on the other side. So give it a bit of a test fit. In there like that, that's it. A little bit of glue. A little bit of glue. Push fit that one in. So there we go, that's those bits done. Next is cut the platforms 45.4 with its railings from the frame. Bend one side upwards at right angles, which is the side A, and then bend piece B, and then bend the middle piece B upward at right angles. Finally bend the third side upwards C. So these are the ones that kind of look like a half-opened box. So that's bent up. Whoopsie. Take your time with this one because this one looks like it's a pain in the arse. It is a pain in the arse. 1. 2. This might be easier if you use something flat like the blade, like a blade. And then what we'll do is, this one's going to be the hardest one to do. I can just see it already. There we go. So line that up, hold that bit tight, and then bend that up. There we go. So these are little blighters, these bits. There we go. But that's that one. Whoopsie. All done. So I'll do the same with the other one. If I can get this done properly. I'll be back. I'll just get this one done. I'll be straight back with you. So that's the other one done just there. So that's both of those parts completed. So these two turn the Admirals Bridge over. So we're going on the underside here. Turn the Admirals Bridge deck assembly upside down. Identify the fixing points for the first platform. Open the open side should face towards the centre of the model. Fix in place with a little super glue. So it goes straight underneath these kind of rangefinder bays, which I just want to try and find out if I get it in the right position. So I really don't want to mess this up, do you? Right, so if that's going in that way, it goes that way around there, so it's got to go in those two holes there. Right, it is actually quite simple because there's four, underside here, there's four tiny little holes there. It's the two that are closest to the middle because the part itself is too small once it's all put in, like that. Obviously this is just test fitted, but you see there how it's too small to fit into those two side bigger holes. So, whoopsie. So dab of glue, and like it says in the instructions, the side that hasn't got a railing goes facing towards the middle of the model. So that will go in like that. Just like that. And then it's the same on the other side. In the same way, glue the second platform in place. Yep. So test fit. That is perfect. So drop of glue in that one, drop of glue into that one, and then glue that little cage in there as well. There we go, so they're both on, like that, all nice and nice. And then the next step is to fit the ladders. Now I've heard things about this. On the starboard side of the upper mast deck. So if I put that over there, bring the mast deck over. To do this, fit the two spars at the end of the ladder into the holes in the deck wall as shown and then glue in place. In the same way, glue the second ladder, 45.2, in place on the port side of the upper mast deck. So it's these two holes, there and there, are the ones we're aiming for. And I'm assuming on these ladders, let's have a look. Yes, it is. It's these two parts that are kind of more angled. There, that are the ones that we're gluing in. So, check it fits. Yes, it does. Quite a long way in, actually. So, drop of glue. Pop that in there like that. That's one, and then in that one there's a drop, in that one there's a drop, maybe a little bit more in that one, there you go, and then same with that there. That's those two sets of ladders in as well. Just going to slightly angle that one a little bit more there, there you go. So that's both of those ladders in, so that's that part done as well. So now we go on to this final sprue. And for this one, we need the foretop gallery, which is obviously this part just here, and cut the antenna outrigger. So the antenna outrigger is this one just here, kind of looks a bit like a flux capacitor. So cut that one off of the sprue, there we go. And then this goes into the three holes at the front, just there. And so note that this part has three arms, identify the fixing points on the front and glue in place. So, now, like I said earlier, sometimes I'll do the gluing on the part, sometimes I'll do it in the holes that the part's going into. For this one, I'm going to do it on the part because it's quite a large surface area on the part itself, and it should hopefully fit in quite easily. Like that. that's pointing straight up. There we go, that's at the right angle. So there you are, that's all on. And then let's have a look. Take the Admirals Bridge assembly, this Admirals Bridge, and turn it upside down. Whoops, put that there. So obviously that's already upside down because I was waiting for the glue to dry for these two, these two parts there and there. And take the Admirals Bridge assembly and cut out rigger 3 from its frame. So I'm just have a look and see which one number 3 is. Number 3 is the longer of the two. Make sure that's definitely right. Measure twice, cut once, as they say. So yeah, 3 is the longer of the two parts left on this sprue. So that's that one, and then just cut that little bit of waste sprue off. Just there, that's that. Right, and take the underside of the searchlight platform and glue in place as shown. So this part, with its two little pin connectors there, goes into those two holes just there. So I'm just going to check that fits properly. Looks like it will. So one there, and that one there, and then if I put that in there like that and just gently push it in, when it will go where I want it to. Let's try doing this with my right hand rather than my left, considering I'm right-handed, usually helps. Now it's not going to fit in. Make sure that this is, yes, it is the right piece. There we go. You really have to give this one a damn good push. The hell. It's not going in now. Right, give me a second. I'm going to slightly widen these holes just to get that part in, and I'll be right back with you. Well, that was a ridiculously tight fit in there. So, right, so that's that bit attached. Next is the part that actually goes under the Admirals Bridge itself, which is the last part that's on this sprue here. If I just cut those bits off there and there. And then this has just got one peg that just goes straight underneath here, so glue this one in place as well. That. That one goes straight in nice and easy. There we go. So that's that bit on both of those two parts there. So that's all the sprues and everything done for this one. Now it's the actual attaching parts together. So what we need to do is put a little bit of super glue, take the upper mast deck assembly and the assembly from the previous step, check it to ensure you fit all the parts the right way round as shown. Apply a little super glue to the top of the conning tower, which is this one here. Pass the cables from the Admirals Bridge through the large opening in the upper mast deck, indicated by the yellow arrow, and fix the two assemblies together so that the spars of the two ladders fit on the underside of the bridge deck. So, I'm just going to test this out first. Make sure that fits in there, like that. That one fits in there like that. Yep, that all fits in place. So I'm also just going to put a little dab on the part itself just there as well. So that's there. Right, now then, let's get this glued in. A little bit of pressure on that. So there we go. So that is everything for this issue put together and done. We've got the conning tower and Admirals Bridge deck all put together, and then we've got the other tower there as well. So that's everything done for issue 45. So guys, that's it for issue 45. 46 is just the next part of the hull, the next port section and the connecting screws. So we've actually got quite a bit of work done with issue 45. I'm glad I waited. I'm glad I waited the 12 weeks to get this. Because what I was going to do was I was going to start gluing some of the parts together for issue 47, because you can do it, because you've got all these, all the majority of the parts. It was just a few of these little kind of railing parts. So I was actually thinking, do I really want to go and spend 12 weeks waiting to build this next bit up? But I'm glad I did. So thank you to everybody on the Facebook group who said yes, and everybody who commented on the video, on previous videos, saying yes, wait, because it was as finicky as hell. But that's the main part of the superstructure that we've built in this one. Then we've got the kind of rangefinder tower just there as well. So obviously that one, that cable will kind of slide down through there, so that will be all attached onto there like that. So that's looking all good. So issue 46 obviously is already up. That will be straight after this one, and I'm going to be recording issue 47 in just a minute as well. So that's issue 45 done finally. Issue 47 will be up very soon. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to the Yorkshire Modeller for more weekly model building geekiness. Like I say, there is more technology coming soon, so I've got the lighting, I've got the cameras coming, I've got the computer coming. Like I say, I'll do a video on all that when it all comes. But until next time, happy modelling, guys.